coffee and today's guest here with me, so we're ready to roll. Welcome to the Circular Coffee Break podcast, where we will be having conversations about circular economy and everything else in the next 20 to 30 minutes. So let's get started. My guest today is Dominik Patzelt, Director of Business Development at VCG.AI. So for all of you not familiar with the company, it's a deep tech startup in Germany that utilizes artificial intelligence and big data to basically transform industrial byproducts and side streams into profitable assets. And with that, basically advancing the circular economy and aiding industries in achieving net zero carbon emissions. I met Dominik actually already a couple of years ago in the context of a project that we have been doing. Back then, he was still at WWF Germany, and we actually were working around a circular economy business assessment. So we have some joint history also in the context of circularity. I'm really looking forward to talking with Dominik today about the interplay of circularity, AI, and big data, and how technology can actually help us accelerate the transition towards a circular economy. Welcome to the show, Dominik.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Michael. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great. Really looking forward to our conversation, but maybe to get us started. I mean, I know you for some time now, but the listeners don't. So maybe you could start by introducing yourself a little bit, your own journey, and also talk a little bit about your role at VCG.AI, the company, and your role as Director of Business Development.
Perfect. Yes. Hi, I'm Dominik. I'm the Director of Business Development at VCG.AI, and basically the role incorporates a blend of strategy, of technology, and of course of impact. Yeah. So what we are doing, we are bridging the gap between cutting edge AI and the industries we serve. And our main goal is really to unlock new opportunities for the companies for sustainable value creation. And to put it very simple, what I do is actually we translate the promises of our AI and the AI in general into tangible outcomes then for companies. Because what we think is really the technology should not be like a tool used only by a small set of people or a small set of companies, but that it is being used as a tool for catalytic, systematic change also in the circular economy. So this is why our company is also unique, yes, because we have tailored the AI to circular economy solutions. And on a more private note, now starting why I am in this role. So my first job actually after university was already at an innovation agency. And what we did is basically what we are doing now as a company, but only manual and by manual labor. We had, for example, a 2.5-year-long project finding new value chains, finding the partners, finding the technologies, finding hurdles, trying to implement stuff for phytopharmaceuticals, eco-construction, and bio-based packaging. And you can imagine, all of these three sectors, they are completely different. So I needed to really dig into all of these sectors, get the knowledge into my brain, but also talk to many, many different people, to generalists, and to connect then really the solution. And now what we're doing, super fast, we still do the same, but now with AI and big data. So the journey actually started when we thought, the knowledge in our brain, and what I did manually, put it down in a big data platform to save actually all the solutions and the value chains and the lessons that we have learned. And because there was no AI possible at this time. And then what we did is, AI is now there. Let's combine AI, big data, and human intelligence. Because this is actually, for me, the most important thing, that we use AI and big data so that we as people can then make a very good decision. Do we want to follow a process? Yes or no, but guided by decisions from AI and big data, looking into millions of data points.
Perfect. Thank you. And you already mentioned that you started with a manual process and now you're using AI in the process. Could you maybe allude a little bit more, like how are you utilizing artificial intelligence to identify and develop circular value chains, and how do you support the decision making that you mentioned? And also, what has been the impact that this new approach, this AI driven approach, has had on industries that are aiming for net zero carbon emissions or for basically enhancing their circularity?
Yes, for sure. So basically, or going back to the past world, how it was done is usually you start with a new sector, for example, and then you look and dig into that. Yeah, then you research papers, you research maybe patents, you research maybe techno-economic assessments and the like. But you will never be able to have the full global overview of all the regulations that there are. So at some point you need to just to stop because you have other tasks, because you need to say, okay, the value chain works like this, and how does it work in regions or for a company which can be partners, to then move forward. And this is actually where now the AI comes in, because the AI looks into millions of data points, from regulatory, from patents, from market assessments, and so on and so forth, brings it together and helps them in decision making and saying, hey, yes, from byproduct A, all of the technologies are available to a product C and end markets, and also analyzes how big it is, which companies can support this transition, etc. So effectively transforming actually the linear models, so to speak. And for companies and also other organizations alike, the impact is really that we are also looking into sustainability indicators, telling them solution A is better compared to solution B when it comes, for example, to CO2 savings. But then also we level it, or depending on the ask of a company, we are, of course, also looking into cycled resources, but also the profit companies can make, because this is, of course, for companies still very, very important, but it's a win-win, because sustainability wins and also the profit from the company perspective also wins.
And very, very interesting. And I think in many companies, you don't necessarily only have one value chain, or the value chain can be really complex as it basically spans geographies, spans various partners, stakeholders, and so on and so forth. So how do you get started? I mean, how do you basically find the right entry points and the right like hotspots where to look at? Is that where the AI can also help, or is that still a manual process?
This is where also the AI helps and the big data also helps, but it's a general process, where we have like a 4-step process where we say, okay, at the beginning of each project with the company, we will define the target boundaries. What does the company really want? Shall we look into the most promising waste stream they have, or if they only have one, it's a no-brainer. But if they have many, what we then also ask, hey, send us over your data. It does not need to be in a good shape. We will do it. Also big data and AI will do it to make life very, very easy and very fast also for the company. And based then on the first elaboration, we will identify all of the different pathways that are actually possible. And then we will match it already to the market and to new products and new possibilities. And there, what I mentioned is where the human then comes in, because we will then discuss, of course, and prioritize, based on the different criteria that we have set in the beginning. Okay, which route shall we actually follow? Because a real life example, if you are a retailer, you have hundreds of different locations where you sell and thousands of different suppliers. You can give us all of the data, and we will then aggregate it and find the best possible solution for you. Or if you're a manufacturer in, let's say a brewery, you will always brew beer, and you will have a, let's say, set of side streams from that, and we can then also prioritize based maybe on, do you already have a solution for byproduct A? Then we will look into byproduct B. But if you're interested in higher value, maybe for the byproduct, we can also look. Or maybe you are already implementing the best solution, then it's also fine. So it's different approaches, and there it's just human interaction. No AI can really help you, where you then try to identify, okay, which project now fits to a company or to a city.
Cool. And I mean, are there industries that you've been looking at that are more that are further, I guess, or more mature when it comes to these topics, or is it that most companies start from a similar position? Do you see more success in some industries, or is this an approach that can be used by all companies in all industries? And naturally, as you mentioned in the beginning, for the manual process, each industry is very specific and has very, very specific operating environments, but also processes, operations, and all of that. How do you take that into consideration?
Yeah, so answering your first question, when it comes towards the different market segments, who is most advanced, of course, there are already companies who use their byproducts in a circular way. Yeah, this is often the case also for agricultural companies or for food processing companies. But then also it depends on the region and what solution they have. Yeah, for example, in South America, we are also talking to companies where they say, hey, our side stream, we are usually just burning it. Yeah, because everyone is doing it. And they did not, let's say, elaborate another possibility. In Germany, the same setup, for example, they say, hey, we are selling it for high or for feedstock, for cattle or for animal feed. Yeah? And then we say, okay, this is a good solution, but we can check in the system. If you would take your byproduct, extract the components out of that, you can have many, many other different applications for that. It does not mean that then the company has to do it. It's still a choice, then where the human intelligence comes in, from the company side. So this is actually reality. It really depends on the region, on company size, and the maturity. Do they have a big R&D team, for example, looking already into this sort of things? And what we offer is really help and get the time to find new solutions and prospects and stuff like this to a very bare minimum, and the totality of all technologies that are out there, because no one knows it. I also don't know it. Even though I worked a long time in the circular economy world.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point, because I mean, in very many cases, the utilization of side streams means to go outside the box. I mean, means to go outside your traditional value chains, because all of a sudden you start to talk with completely different industries, completely different partners. One example I recently talked about is basically a food producer who's selling their byproducts into the cosmetics industry, which is most likely something that the food producer has never ever thought about and has no insight or no idea about how that could actually work, or how their byproducts could be used in that context.
Yes, that is 100% true, and this is also what we see. For example, we were working with some companies who are sending their byproducts to biogas plants, but in this specific region or country, the subsidies will go out, and now they think, okay, but what do I do now with it? And we can even tell them, hey, there are opportunities that you even can earn money with your side stream if you then upcycle it. So there are different, let's say, pull and push triggers for companies why to do that. For example, others may be competition from other regions, so they need to diversify their product portfolio.
That's very interesting. I mean, what are typically the motivations you see? I mean, you now mentioned one is naturally regulation, but what is the motivation when companies approach you and are basically saying, "Hey, help us look at our side streams"? What is it typically that they have in mind? What basically triggered them to pick up the phone and give you a call or answer your email, I guess?
Yeah, it's regulation, of course, is one big driver. The other driver is also innovation, because there are many companies now really trying also to innovate where they source their materials from. I believe, or what I know now, is it's not the majority, let's say, of all of the companies, so not the ones we are talking with, but in general, to really have innovative approaches. But some say, hey, this is my current process. I know it works, but I want more circular or bio-based materials. Where can I get it from? Which technologies can help me to derive my product? So I can sell the same product, but on a more circular way. How do I do this? Where can I purchase byproducts? Yeah, and so we can also help them there. But for some, for example, it's just still the challenge. Okay, I have a certain waste, let's call it. What do I do with it?
I think you're making an interesting point, because it actually goes both directions. It goes into the direction of, I have the waste, I want to get rid of it in a sustainable way. But it's also the other way around. I want to basically use a sustainable material as a feedstock, as an input to my production. Where do I get the material, or what is the material I could actually be using? So it's actually on both sides that you can help in finding the right material, finding the right partners, finding the right ecosystems.
Exactly. And it's also about the technologies, because also we see, or when I started like 8 years ago, more on this ecosystem thinking and supporting ecosystems for circular economy for entire states in Germany. There were like the biorefineries were setting up. And now also, because AI is not only used in the way I describe it, but also to identify, for example, or to develop new technologies completely, there are so many opportunities, and companies just need to stay ahead. Okay, what is now the most promising technology where I can source, or how I can transform my products, or where I can source from, or where I can be ahead of the curve, and also diversify my market. Because also the supply chain it's still also an issue. Where do I get my material from for my products?
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess, I mean, as in so many areas, the technology is there, the processing power and all of that. It's very often, I guess, the non-technical barriers that are basically keeping companies away from doing different things. And if you would have basically a magic wand, and you could basically take away some of the non-technical barriers that you've seen now in your discussions with companies, with individuals, for scaling the circular economy opportunities and solutions that you are proposing. What would be these non-technical barriers that you have been seeing that basically take companies away from taking these opportunities that you basically present them with?
Yeah, so for me personally, but still also throughout my lifetime, in my professional career, it would always be like the rather cultural mindset. Because also working and going through all of my life, I'm always open for re-innovation, let's say. Is it the best way how we do stuff? So this is always my guiding question. Or are there maybe other opportunities? And I believe when it comes to industry in general, there is some kind of a reluctance to really innovate, because this is effort. This is a lot of effort. Also in the past, it was a lot of effort from decision from within CEO level to different functions, to developing processes around new products and finding markets and stuff like this. This is hard effort. And of course, there's always, or sometimes mentality, hey, we have always done process A, why should I now change into process B? And this is what I would wish for, just to say, hey, the world changes now even faster than ever, and AI also will change super fast, and also how we do things, to be open and to embrace it, and to use it as a tool, so that the human intelligence can actually come into play, and say, okay, let's do it, or let's do it not. It's also fine.
Yeah, no, I think that makes perfect sense, because in a lot of organizations, they have basically optimized their operations to be as efficient as possible. And every change basically kind of puts them back a step or two in their efficiency journey. It might create value in a different way, but it's not necessarily the number one priority in a lot of organizations. So you have to basically make sure that your organization has the right targets, but also has the right mindset to take these things forward. Absolutely. Now, I mean, where do you see the future? I mean, you're using AI in the context of circularity for side streams to basically create new circularity models. Where do you see the next steps? I mean, where are you at VCG.AI looking to develop there? What are the next steps? What is your vision of where do you want to take this going forward in this, I guess, currently very evolving landscape of circular economy solutions, products, services, and operations?
Yeah. So of course, this is super important for us, because we see that there are so many AI trends, let's say, changing weekly or monthly how we can do actually stuff and how we can find new solutions. So this is why we are also investing in our own R&D, into our own AI and big data platform. And actually what our vision is, hey, if there's a technology, if there's a byproduct, or if there's a product you need, we can find ways to make it happen, to make it very fast happen. So if it has been described, a process, a technology, and value chains, you will find it with us. And so another very big topic in the AI world, how it is actually used also for circular economy, is a different approach. It is where, for example, in internal R&D teams, they use AI to model, for example, how enzymes or other biotechnology processes should be developed to produce a certain material. Meaning, hey, I have a molecule A. At the moment, I can't transform it. So AI helped me to find the best enzyme or enzyme construct or whatever, to transform it into a product B and tell me what products will come out of that. So this will be also a game changer, because then there will be, I believe, materials with completely other functions or more efficient functions, let's say. Because some of the materials we are currently using, they have so much, they can do so much, but really looking for, I need function A, for example, fixing systems or whatever. How can I do it most efficient way? And maybe then it's a new product or material that we have not thought about yet.
And I guess that's where topics like quantum naturally also will basically accelerate that process of developing new products and completely new approaches of reusing material or components, or basically break it down to even more modular levels in that context.
Exactly. Now, and what we are doing actually is then we at the moment, we are attaching to that. So if you found it, we will, let's say, maybe a strong word, but we will democratize it, because if it has been described in a patent, in a paper, or somewhere, we can make it available also to everyone else. So, of course, according to the patents and stuff like this, but that the knowledge of how you can use a technology, of how you can make a product, or of how you can use your byproducts or residues, that you can also do it as a company or as a city. And then, of course, we will not, it's not us who then, let's say, build or have the facility, but we will connect you to the ones who are then actually the owners of this intellectual property, to connect you then and to make the time so small until you can really make a change and implement actually a facility, to really speed up the process here. Not like in my past, 2.5 years research, and then let's see what's coming out, but do this within days or weeks, and then you can decide, yes, let's do it. So this is actually where we are also going towards.
I think that sounds fantastic, because I mean, for years, and this goes back even to my student days, we talked about the knowledge transfer, the technology transfer, the research transfer from the research organizations into the businesses, into the companies, to bring that knowledge into use. And as you said, it has always been very difficult to find these golden nuggets or these diamonds in this huge amount of patents and IPR and all of that, in order to implement it into the business world. If you can accelerate that and make that usable for specific waste streams or for specific feedstocks, I think that will also accelerate the translation from the research and development side into the actual use cases in the business context, which is definitely something we all can basically profit from and create value based on.
Exactly. Yeah. Also, again, yeah, for my or in my PhD times, I worked a lot with algae biotechnology, and I worked in a very specific field, which was energy out of algae, which today no one would do, I believe, because the value of the molecules in the algae is just way too high, than just to make energy out of this. And if I would have the solution that we are doing now, I could just simply say, okay, what can I do with algae? You will open the tree of opportunities and already be able to see, okay, I can do that one, I can do that one, I can do that one, and then really decide, okay, which is actually the best way of my product to put to an end product. And then I can already directly pick up the phone, call the company and say, hey, I'm producing this stuff. Do you need it? Yes, no. Yeah. And so then it's super, super, super fast.
Which I think is exactly what we need at the moment. I mean, fast solutions and basically fast turnaround from what's being done in research and development and put it into action to where it really creates the impact and where it really has basically an impact on be it CO2 and all these other areas where we need rapid change. Now, a couple of times you talked about stakeholders and ecosystems. How do you work with the different parties? How do you connect the different parties that I guess are very often in rather different areas or different industries or different geographies? How do you bring those parties together and help them in basically then realizing the potential that you're opening up?
Yeah, so this is at the core of what we are doing. This is where we are coming from as a company. Again, also relating to your first question, where we said, hey, we are doing a lot of EU projects, regional projects, projects with cities, projects with companies. And the most important thing here, again, human intelligence, how to translate what person A or organization A wants to organization B or function D or something like this. Yeah, because this is what we are also doing. And for example, our approach for cities is that we say, hey, we will identify for your city, if you are, let's say, business developer for a city Z, or whatever, that we say, okay, based on the profile of your companies in your city, we know now, okay, they have a certain set of byproducts. We know you have also the technology or don't have it in your area to connect it directly to other companies in your city. And this is then the business development part for a city. But of course, then we need the companies, we need the tech providers, we need researchers, and still to implement it if there is no solution yet. So it's always about building consortia. It's always about partnerships, because in the circular economy way, there's just no other possibilities, because we really want to bridge also the resource flow from one sector to another sector.
Great. The coffee is unfortunately empty, and it's time to wrap up the episode of the Circular Coffee Break. Thanks a lot, Dominik, for joining me today and for sharing a little bit how you use AI to basically enable circular material streams, both for waste streams, but also on the feedstock side. Thanks a lot, Dominik.
Perfect. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be here.
Great. And thank you to all of you out there listening. We hope, as always, that today's episode brought some new ideas and some new perspectives for you that you can maybe use in your context or maybe in your search for circular solutions. If you enjoyed the podcast, please like, subscribe, or give us a 5-star rating on your favorite podcasting platform. That would extremely help us out in building the Circular Coffee Break community and to reach even more people in order to help them understand how to put circularity into action. I mentioned earlier there's time for action now. So the more people we reach in our community, the broader we can spread the circularity insights and news. We have amazing guests lined up for the episodes that are dropping every 2 weeks. So stay tuned and subscribe. And the only thing for me left is to thank you again for listening today. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all here at the Circular Coffee Break podcast.